In this lesson, we will gather information about the facts and conditions which existed before the accident. I will share with you only the relevant details, which will be required for you to analyze the causes of this accident. Note that the additional information can be accessed by pressing the snapshot button, which will appear on the slides where the matter is addressed. You may also view these snapshots anytime from the index page by pressing the snapshot summary button. The collision took place between a geared bulk carrier, referred to in this training as Vessel A, and a fishing vessel in the Yellow Sea at 11:42 local time on passage from Qingdao, China to Yeosu, South Korea. Throughout the period concerned, the visibility was over 10 miles. The sea stayed rough with northerly winds of force 7 to 8 and a northerly swell about 3 meters high. You may press the snapshot button to read particulars of Vessel A and the detailed weather report. The collision happened in third officer's watch. Incidentally, the third officer had just 2 months' experience and was reported well by the master about his navigation capabilities. His induction briefing was also carried out satisfactorily. Let's now look at some pictures of the view from the bridge of Vessel A. Guess why? I will tell you later. Look at the fishing vessel. It is not the same fishing boat which collided with Vessel A, but it has similar hull construction. Do pay attention to the type and color of the hull. Again, this will give you some clues regarding the factors which contributed to this accident. In this lesson, I will tell you how the events happened in chronological order, reconstructed from the time the third officer took over the watch. The final event is depicted graphically. Pay attention to the details. You may pause any slide or repeat it in case you wish to reread the information. Now click the next button. At 1100 hours, Vessel A was still proceeding at a course of 113 degrees with a speed of 13.1 knots, and the visibility remained unchanged to 11 nautical miles. Third officer plotted the vessel's position and detected a target at over 12 miles range. He then got a call on the walkie-talkie.
Third officer, come in please. Third, can you start the PT fan?
Okay, will do, Lecky.
Third officer, come in please. You can switch off the PT fan now.
Okay, will do. After the walkie-talkie call, third officer went back to the radar to check on the vessel he had observed earlier. At around 11:15 hours, Vessel A was still proceeding at a course of 113 degrees with a speed of 13.1 knots, and the visibility remained unchanged to 11 nautical miles. Third officer acquired the vessel he had detected on the port radar and noted that it was passing own vessel on the starboard side with a CPA of 1.3 miles. Third officer then went to the AIS and identified the acquired target as Vessel B. At around 11:20 hours, Vessel A's course and speed, as well as the visibility, remained unchanged. Third officer observed Vessel B visually from starboard wings. No other targets were visible. Third officer then went on to the port wing and confirmed there were no other visible targets. Third officer went back to check on Vessel B on the radar. It was now 7 miles off and CPA 1.3 miles passing to starboard. No other targets were observed on the radar or visually. Third officer then received a call from the chief engineer.
Third, please reduce RPM to 117. Heavy rolling and pitching is causing engine to surge.
All right, Chief. Captain, Chief Engineer wants the engine RPM to be reduced to 117 due to surging.
Okay, go ahead.
At 11:35 hours, third officer went back to check vessel B on the radar and observed that she was passing still at CPA of 1.3 miles. Third officer decided to give a 5-degree to port helm and altered to about 108 degrees to increase the CPA from vessel B. After the alteration, third officer confirmed that the CPA of vessel B had increased to 1.5 nautical miles. Third officer did not detect any other radar target, and having satisfied himself, third officer again took position on the starboard wing to observe vessel B visually. No other vessels were visible. A few minutes later, around 11:42 hours, while the third officer was still on the starboard wing, observing vessel B, master from the radio annex entered the bridge. Click the next button to see what happened. Around 11:42 hours, captain enters the bridge from the radio room and walks towards the bridge window and sees a red flag and something brown in color fine on the port bow, just about 20 meters ahead, and immediately shouts in total shock,
What is that?
Where?
Master immediately issues an order for wheel to be put hard over to port.
Wheel hard over to port.
Aye, aye, sir. Wheel hard over to port. Wheel hard over to port, sir.
After giving the first order, master rushes to the starboard wings to get a glimpse of the fishing vessel and sees a portion of the fishing boat on the starboard bow and issues another order for wheel to be put to hard over to starboard.
Wheel hard over to starboard.
Aye, aye. Wheel hard over to starboard. Wheel hard over to starboard, sir.
Before the vessel could react to the last order, master issues another order to put the wheel hard over to port.
Wheel hard over to port.
Aye, aye. Wheel hard over to port. Wheel hard over to port, sir.
As soon as the vessel started swinging to port, master and third officer see an 80% damaged boat scraping the starboard ship's side, and on a slight distance to the right, an orange-colored dinghy boat with 2 survivors and another survivor clinging to the debris of the boat. Master, seeing the survivors, issues another order to put the wheel hard over to starboard to clear the survivors from the propeller.
Wheel hard over to starboard.
Aye, aye. Wheel hard over to starboard. Wheel hard over to starboard, sir.
I'm sure you would not like to experience accidents on your ship. Subsequent to the accident, a search and rescue operation was carried out by geared bulk carrier Vessel A, assisted by other vessels in the vicinity and later joined by a Korean search and rescue helicopter. Unfortunately, only 5 survivors were rescued out of 8. 3 of the fishing boat crew were not found and lost to the sea. I hope that you are feeling as bad as I am about this accident. This should give you enough reason not to be in the same shoes as the master or the third officer on board Vessel A. In this lesson, I will share with you some additional information about this accident. Click the next button to continue. In case you wish, you can also read and print the narratives of this accident, master's and third officer's reports, duty schedules as kept in the last 24 hours, and the checklist filled by the staff. Press the snapshot button to do so. You may also, similarly, see the track reconstruction of geared bulk carrier Vessel A. Before taking the investigation exercise, you may also read the collision regulations pertinent to this accident.